so much pressure from back home for you to want to walk that stage. There is so much pressure from people back home for you to want to be the best version of yourself.
Big God, they won't let me be. All these folks just they want me. Then they want me, cock on me.
Hello my beautiful sisters, welcome back to another video. If this is your first time seeing this beautiful face, my name is Vanessa Anegbode. Please do not make it your last by hitting that red subscribe button right in front of your screen. It takes just one click and support the family. Follow me on all my social media platforms. Join the Anegbode gang. Join the beautiful sisters family. Because over here, the main rules of this channel is for us to continue to be the best versions of ourselves. And that's on period. Big purr. And if you're a returning sister, thank you so much for supporting my journey. God will continue to bless you left, right, and center. Anyway, today we're in a different setting. We are on my bed because I wanted to let you guys in on something very personal, something that is dear to my heart. Let you guys in on the struggles of being an international student, because baby, being an international student is definitely not for the weak. It is something that definitely adds emotional stress to you. It takes away from your physical abilities. It adds so much to your mental, it just takes a whole lot for you to be an international student. So if you know you would love to know the pros, the cons, and the struggles of being an international student, make sure you keep on watching. So I do want to start off by saying that this is my 6th year in the United States, and I was an international student for 5. I am currently a green card holder. I thank God for that journey, because by the grace of God, it definitely wasn't an easy one, but God definitely made it very smooth. And when I was an international student, girl, I am telling you, especially with the fact that I do want to pursue a degree in becoming a medical doctor, trying to get all those hours, all these opportunities, so that I could be a good applicant, trying to fit into the genre, because baby, it's a genre. Not everybody fits on the roster. Like, trust me, being an international student is definitely not for the weak, and a lot of people do not know the struggles that international students encounter. So, but before we get into that, let us get the idea of what an international, who an international student is. So an international student is a person that moves from another country into a foreign country. In my case, I moved from Nigeria into the United States for a pursuit of a higher education. That is who an international student is. And being an international student, it definitely comes with a lot of struggles, a lot of pros, and a lot of cons. One of which is a lot of people do think that international students' parents are very fortunate. International students are very, they come from a very wealthy home. Else, how would they be able to afford moving into another country, especially like the United States? But girl, let me let you in. No, that is so far from the truth. Being an international student is a very expensive journey. Yes, it is, but it doesn't mean that our parents are rich. No, rather our parents just want us to get the idea of the American dream that was sold to us. Because being an international student, for instance, for myself and being in the United States, my parents definitely went through a whole lot for them to bring me here. A lot of international students are here either from scholarships that they try to get back home for them to move here. A lot of international students came here for either from some kind of jobs from back home. A lot of international students came here from some kind of programs that our government was holding, but are no longer holding, for them to come into the United States. So there are so many different ways that different international students do come into the United States and other foreign countries. It's not just the fact that our parents are sponsoring our education, because trust me, the dollar to naira rate, it is not something that any family can afford, especially now in this recession that America is going into, and the recession that my country, Nigeria itself, is going into. So no, the process is very expensive, especially from the interviews to taking the SAT, the aptitude test, to getting tickets for you to travel into the United States, to getting so many things for you to leave, and for you to live in the United States, because you're moving to a foreign country. But it doesn't mean our parents are rich. And first of all, we are paying twice, if not triple, the amount of money that you pay as a student. You don't get a lot of scholarships, you don't get a lot of opportunities, but yet we get half, if not 3/4 of the opportunities that you get for paying double the amount of tuition that you pay. So girl, don't even say our parents are rich, because no, they are not. They are trying their best to provide for their children. Just like you, if you were a parent, you would definitely provide your child the best opportunity for them to be able to get the best life they can ever get in this lifetime. Second struggle that international students face, and they do not tell you when you're being sold the American dream, is the fact that you're not allowed to work outside of your school campus. You're only allowed to work 20 hours a week on campus. However, you are not guaranteed those 20 hours. However, you are not guaranteed that job, because you are competing with people from the United States for you to get those jobs. You are not allowed to work McDonald's. You are not allowed to work Burger King. You are not allowed to work any minimum paying job outside of your school, because everybody wants to work on campus, because you're pretty much not doing anything, but yet you are getting paid. A lot of people do not know this, and a lot of international students like myself come into the United States with the fact that, okay, when I come into the United States, I'm going to be able to allow to work. I can be able to send money back home if my parents do need it, you know, blah blah blah, you know, this kind of things. Like, you have the idea that that is what is going to happen, but unfortunately that is not what is going to happen for you, because you're not told these things. And when you come here and you're faced with that reality shock, you're like, why did nobody tell me this? What is going on? Why am I not allowed to get this job? Why am I not allowed to do this? You start asking yourself questions upon questions, forgetting the fact that this is just the rule, and you don't want to work outside of school because you don't want to be caught by the Department of Homeland Security. You don't want to be caught by ICE, so that you're not deported back home and you're out of status. That is a fear for every international student. The fear of being caught by the Homeland Security, the fear of being caught by ICE because you disobeyed the laws of being an international student. The worst part of it is, once you have graduated, the labor market expects you to have some kind of experience. Maybe you have done internships, you have done some kind of hours, volunteering hours that you can put on your resume, and that shows that you're ready for work. But guess what? As an international student, what internship are you going to get? There is literally no internships for international students, because first of all, foreign countries do see international students as expensive liabilities, so they do not want to invest in international students. No company wants an international student, so that, you know, even if you're good of a person, a lot of people don't want to invest in you, because it's like, you know, it's a lot of money to invest in an international student for them to stay in the country, and they only allowed a limited amount of years. They only allowed 1 year after graduation through the OPT program for them to even be able to stay in the United States. That is even if you're a STEM major. So that's why you see a lot of people telling you that if you're coming to the United States, you need to come in for a STEM major. But what if you don't desire to be STEM? What if you're somebody that has a great desire for business? You have a great desire for art. The truth is, there's limited opportunities for you to come here, because that is how the system is. The system is already limited to everybody, and it's, you know, the only people that is a little bit, you know, there's a little kind of lineage is if you're a STEM major, because then you allow 1 to 2 years, I do believe, from the time you graduate for you to still stay in the country and work, and then you find somebody to want you, you find a company that wants to sponsor you for you to stay. But how many companies are there in the United States, truthfully, for them to sponsor international students? We are not told these things from the get-go. We are only told the idea you coming here for greener pastures, but the greener pastures realistically are limited, especially for someone like me that do want to become a medical doctor. You're expected to have shadowing hours, you're expected to have clinical experience, you're expected to have all those things that shows that you've been around patients. You want to become a doctor, you have a burning desire to become a doctor, because it's one thing to just say words, it's another thing it's another thing for you to have actions that backs up your words. But once you're not given opportunities to go to internships, it's hard for you to get into hospitals, because they have to go through so many screenings and so many things for you to become for you to even volunteer at the amount of screening I went to for me to volunteer at the hospitals I am volunteering, or that I was volunteering, it definitely was a lot. Like, there's a lot of things that goes in whenever you get an opportunity, and when you get some kind of opportunity and you hide your status of being an international student and they do find out, then they do have to let you go. So please don't just think that international students have it easy, because no, we do not have it easy. The third one is, Once you come into the United States, I don't know if it's the weather, if it's the atmosphere, I don't know what it is, but once you land in this country, for some reason, it comes with you being homesick and you feeling a lot of depression. I don't know what exactly it is, but if you're an international student, I know definitely for sure that at one time in your journey, you had no idea what depression was, but all of a sudden, you feel very depressed because you have nobody to talk to if you are in the country, because your parents are not here. You don't have a lot of people to go. You have no idea about what mental illness is. You have no idea what about therapy is, because you're coming from a country like mine, for instance, in Nigeria, where you're not educated enough about therapy. So you're always trying to figure out what exactly is going on with me. Why don't I feel the desire to want to go to class? Why don't I feel the desire to want to do certain things? And then you're saying, you're always trying to push yourself with the fact that, oh my God, I have to do this thing. I have to do this because people are depending on me at home. You know, I have to be able to, my family is dependent on my degree. You know, this and that. There's so much pressure from back home for you to want to walk that stage. There is so much pressure from people back home for you to want to be the best version of yourself. You desire to do that, but the pressure from family, from friends is so much, and with you have unlimited opportunities, it's just like, when is all this going to end? That is one struggle that international students face. I know I faced it, and I'm so glad that I was able to figure out what therapy is. I was so glad that I was able to go to therapy for like 3 months. I still go for therapy right now, but I am so glad I was able to find that opportunity, and my school had free access to for everybody, not just international students, to access therapy. I didn't find that out on time, but I'm glad that I did. I was able to take use of that opportunity. So if you do have a counseling center at your school as an international student, please, I'm very sure a lot of them are free, because I know that international students pay health insurance through their tuition. Make sure you take advantage of that opportunity. Make sure you do that. Go to therapy as an international student. Talk the things that is bothering you. Have that conversations. I know our parents can be very, very strict, especially if you're from an African background. Your parents are definitely very strict, but with time, having conversations with them and making them understand the situations that you're going through, especially with the fact that you're in a country alone, if you have nobody, please have that conversation with them, because I know the struggles that you are going through as a person. Guys, this is the end of today's video. There's a whole lot of struggles to talk about when it comes to being an international student. Like, it can take hours and hours if I do want to continue to go on, but I tried as much as possible to touch on the main points of being an international student. If you know you're an international student watching this video, please listen to the comment section. Go to the comment section down below and list all your struggles, the cons of being an international student, because girl, I know that struggle. List it below so that everybody else can learn from this video. And most importantly, if you're an international student, know that your journey might not be easy, that God will continue to provide sufficient strength to the weak. God will definitely make your path smooth. I know it's not easy. Take it from me. I've been there, done that. So I know the struggle that you're going through. Everybody's journey is different. I know there's a lot of pressure on you to want to be the best, but girl, take a deep breath and breathe. Tell yourself that you're doing okay, one step at a time. The opportunities may not be there, but continue to work harder. I continue to do the things that you need to do. Ask questions, because I'm telling you, there are a little bit of opportunities for people, but ask those questions. Go to people, pressurize people to give you that opportunity, because you deserve it just as much as anybody from the United States deserve. So please know that you're doing okay. And until the next video, guys, do not forget to stay beautiful. Do not forget to stay classy. Do not forget to stay humble. Do not forget to continue to be the best versions of yourselves. And until the next one, bye guys.